Okay, I'm going to tie today a Chartreuse over white Clouser. This is a small Clouser that is very productive here in Southern California. So here we go, I'm going to tie it up for you. Hook of choice for me, for my Clouser at least, is an SC15. Gamakatsu SC15. This is a size 2. First thing I do is go ahead and hit the threads with a little bit of super glue. Then I'll come in with a bit of nylon thread. I like to use nylon threads for attaching my dumbbell eye, because I can give it a little harder cranks than I can with the thread that I use for the tying of the fly. So give yourself a little bit of room there in the front. Place your eyes. Get a few turns there. Get your eyes nice and straight. Some figure eights. Kind of give some nice pulls now and then. Make sure those eyes are nice and secure on that top. And then I come through and just a couple of turns around. And go ahead and just hit that with some super glue, like so. Again, I do a few more wraps. I really don't like the eye spinning on my flies. Okay, once you get yourself situated and you feel you're comfortable with it, come back in, do a little whip finish, and your eyes are secure. So with the eye secured now on the shank, I come through with a little red thread. I'm going to go ahead and add in a bleeding gill with my fly. I like to add a bleeding gill on most of my Chartreuse white Clousers, and all of them whites Clousers, and I'll change this cut a little bit when I go to different color combination with other Clousers. Maybe I can use orange, Petite Staz, or a different color depending on what the effect is I want to have on that bottom. So in this case, it's a bleeding gill on a Chartreuse in white. So all you need really is one turn of this Petite Staz. So there you go, that's your one. Go ahead and just tie her off. You don't want a lot. Just want to give yourself a nice little shot of it, and you can see there I have it. So what I do now is just hit this with some crazy glue, like so. You can whip finish if you like, but I'm going to go ahead and just cut it off. That should be fine with all that super glue. So now comes the Clouser. I'm going to go ahead and attach my thread. I'm now changing to a 6/0 uni light olive, like this color. I've already pre-cut some white bucktail. On my tying desk I have a bit of a little length that I have for all my Clousers, because I want them to be pretty consistent. I like this size for size 2 SC15 hook. So what you want to do is go ahead and measure those butts right to the eye. So you do a nice little loop pinch wrap. Go ahead and see that those butts are right next to that eye, and come back and tie up to the eye. So you can go ahead then is reposition and make sure you have it nice little silhouette. In this case I do. One thing I do a little extra now is I'm going to go ahead and add in a loose binding wrap to the shank. So I'm going to go ahead and make one loose wrap like that, cross it back over, and head off to the front. What that loose little binding wrap does, it's going to keep those fibers, or keep the bucktail close to the shank. Next thing I'm going to do is add in some DNA Hollow Chromosome Flash. I like this flash. I think it gives a nice bait fish belly kind of glimmering look to the fly. It's also supple in comparison to, let's say, Crystal Flash, which Crystal Flash is nice, but I think this is just a little bit nicer, but that's my own opinion, of course. A lot of guys use Crystal Flash. So go ahead and just splay it out on both sides, because you want that flash on both sides of that belly of that fly. Come back in, layer out nice and neat. So you have your flash now. Next you want to do is go ahead and get your Chartreuse bucktail. Again, I've pre-cut the bucktail to the size I like for my Clousers on my time table. Go ahead and measure it out again to the butts. Lay out a nice little pinch wrap. Pull back a little bit. Make sure you don't have those bucktails over the eye, like so. Come back, and there you have your bucktail. To finish her off, I like to go with some DNA Hollow Fusion. This is color Chartreuse, and I really like this material as well as a topper. It has some of that chromosome flash in it, and it also has a bit of really light helical type of synthetic material. I think adds a very nice top to the Clouser. So I'm going to go ahead now and just lay this material on the front and wind up this as the topper to the Clouser. At this point, the fly is essentially done. I'm going to do a nice little quick whip finish. There's my whip finish. Now I need to evaluate the fly I just tied. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure all my materials are laid out on the top. And it does look nice. I want to then look at the top of the bottom of my fly and make sure the materials are the same length. So as you can see, I got some little trimming to do. The Chartreuse material is a little bit long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it at an angle. Don't cut straight. Nothing is straight there in nature. Again, see the chromosome is a bit long. At an angle. Cut her off. And then you have a nice even Clouser. The last little steps is personal choices, but I think it's kind of nice. I like to go ahead and stiffen up the material close to the head there. And what I use is Fusion. Liquid Fusion is the product's name. Liquid Fusion mixed with some water. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and hit that right in the center. This is a good material, this Fusion, because it has no smell to it, and when this stuff eventually dries, it's like a latex. It's kind of soft. It's not very super overly stiff. Also, the Fusion against the DNA products basically does do a very good job of stiffening up the fly. Some other products such as angel hair, they don't do so well, but I found this product to do very well with Fusion, and it does make a nice little stiffen up, and I do like this. Other guys use Softex, but I heard that stuff really smells, and I don't really like that at all. So I use Fusion, and it does work. So that's that piece there. The last thing I want to do is just I come in with a little bit of Zap-A-Gap. This is the brushable version. Go ahead and just hit the threads. Just kind of just hit them. And that'll finish up your fly. So there you go. Simple Clouser. A little bit of twist to it, a little bit of that bleeding gill, a little of that nice chromosome flash, and I think it worked out in the ocean there. So, or for bass or whatever you want to try for. So give it a try. Good luck. Thanks.